Hello YouTube, welcome to Bub's World. Today we're going to get into my most recent pickups from Heroes Con 2025 in Charlotte, North Carolina. So sit back, relax, and let's take a look at some books.
You're watching Bub's Comics, Bub.
Alright, so first off, had a great time, super fun, everybody was cool. Got to hang out with some folks. Only did the con for one day, so if I didn't see you, I'm sorry, but I was there Friday only. My wife and I enjoyed our time. We had a good time. We went through all the booths and did some good comic hunting. So let's see how I did. First off, of course, we have the book here, the main book, the con book. Very cool. And then a nice little frazetta on the back. And one thing I did want to say about these is that just about the con in general. So I picked up some art books, I picked up a couple of reprints, and then I picked up some Golden Age. So if you like the Golden Age stuff, you can skip on to the end. All right, but I don't think you're gonna want to miss these art books. So first off, we have Basement Studios presents I Love Monsters. This is Bud Root's newest book. He always releases an art book at Heroes Con. So this is his most recent one, and this one I believe the actual title is Bud's Grab Bag Volume 1. Because the I Love Monsters 2025, that's more like in the image, like that's baked in, like that's part of this image. So, but very cool. Nothing not to like. And if you like this kind of stuff, there's a more risque version of this picture, of this image inside the book on the last page. But this just collects some of Bud Root's cover images, a couple of his sketch cards that he's done. So just a little art book. Great stuff. I love that kind of stuff. Next up, I did stop by the C3 book. I tried to haggle on price to get this one at a lower price. They weren't budging, so I went ahead and bought it at full retail. So let that be a lesson to you. So, so it's a 2025 C3 art book, Comics Curing Cancer. So if you don't know about it, I don't know what rock you're living under. But look it up, and good cause and all that good stuff. So there you go. And I could not resist this cover. I mean, it's just outstanding. Fantastic book. Love Grey Hulk. That's pretty cool. All right. Now, one of my favorite all-time artists, especially for Dinosaurs, we had William Stout was in the house, and he had a Fantastic Women book here. Look at that. Now, we're not going to get too into this book, but this is quite something. There's a quick shot of the back. You guys can pause that if you can. Here's a quick flip through of the interior. Just some fantastic stuff. William Stout, super nice guy. I mean, this guy, always a pleasure to talk to and to discuss his art with. And I just love his hard inks and his just attention to detail, especially on the monsters that he does and dinosaurs, and of course the beautiful women. So well done, William, as always. All right, that's the art books. I also picked up a couple of, I'll run through these quick, some reprint Dick Tracy's. So I just like to read these. So when I see them, I pick them up. So there's Dick Tracy number 3. So this reprints the dailies. And we have Dick Tracy number 13. Very cool. And we have Dick Tracy number 15. These are all mag-sized. And we have the Dick Tracy 50th anniversary. I thought I already had this, but when I got home, thankfully I looked, I couldn't find it, so I guess I didn't. But here it is. There's the 50th anniversary volume set, but this is just the first issue. All right, now on to the beautiful Golden Age. I've been working on a couple of runs. You all know that, but there's one run that I had been working on that I never really said I was working on it, but when I see it, I pick it up, and that's Bullet Man. So I have a Bullet Man number 1 already, and I think I might have a number 9 or so. So there's like 16 issues of this run. So, and you find them so randomly. Like you'll come across a big Golden Age dealer, they'll have like 1 or 2 issues. Then you come across a dealer that has like just mostly Bronze Age, and then he'll have a Bullet Man sitting there. Like, what is that doing there? So it's just an odd title that you find lots of different places. But this one here, Bullet Man number 6. Most of the covers do feature Bullet Girl, because technically I'm a Bullet Girl collector. So, so there you go. And of course, Bullet Man made his first appearance in Nickel Comics. So there's a few great Nickel Comics covers as well. But I'm trying to focus on just the main Bullet Man run to start. I also have some great original art with Bullet Girl in it. So you see that at the end of my video and my, my little goodbye screen before Wolverine rips through and, tells you to subscribe. There's a picture of Bullet Girl there. That's who that is. So very cool. Digging that. Just a lot of good stuff going on there. Always dynamic action covers in these Bullet Man books. All right, next up from the Golden Age, we have Strange Worlds number 2. So this, as you know, is a title I've been after. Strange Worlds. This one has been difficult to finish, mostly because there's a lot of really low-grade copies of this book, and I don't mind that so much, a low-grade copy, but I do want a decent presenting book. And the dealer had this one for sale. These Avon books, they get so trashed. And this one was one of the best presenting copies I've ever seen. And for, in a reasonable price range. And he wanted probably, honestly, I think it was less than half. And I had been shying away from buying this book just because it's not necessarily my favorite in the run. But for whatever reason, it tends to go for a little bit more money. I think it's a very exciting cover. And you see it has like that blurred head there. It's got the woman in her like, space suit bikini and the heels and everything. It does have ray guns and it does have bubble helmets. So we're all over the things that people look for in a sci-fi cover. It is a number 2, so it's low in the run. But this book really tends to go for several $100s every time I see it. And this guy had it for just a couple. So I couldn't pass it up. I went ahead and I still worked a deal on it, but went ahead and picked this book up. Super happy to do so. Strange Worlds number 2. Now, I forget how many I'm away now from completing that run, but I think it's only like 3 issues. So we're real close on this one. It was the one I thought I might finish last year, but I made a lot of headway on it, but I never did finish it. Okay, next up we have. This is a book, if you've been watching my channel for even the last month, you've probably seen these books come up in the last several hauls. But here we have Captain Science number 6, with an amazing copy of this book. I mean, this book is sharp. And I just did not expect to get such a good looking copy of this book. It was the number 1 book I was after at Heroes Con, and I had my choice. I actually saw 2 or 3 copies, definitely 2 copies of this book there. And when I say I had my choice, there was also a copy of Captain Science number 1, which I'm after as well. But being able to get this Captain Science number 6, which I wanted more than the number 1, because I see the number 1 more often. And also the number 1 varies wildly in price. Sometimes it's very overpriced, sometimes it's very low, depending on the condition, of course. But this book, every time I see it, it's a high price. So I knew in my head I had a budget of how much I wanted to spend for this book. Hopefully no more, right? And then also I knew that at that price range I could find, on occasion there's copies that come up on eBay. Short Boxes had a copy or 2. And so I knew the price range of this book. But I also knew that my hope was at Heroes Con, for the same money that I might be able to buy it for at eBay or somewhere else, for the same money to get a good copy of this book, a very good presenting copy, and that's what I found. So love this. Of course, it is very expensive book because it's got bondage, it's got rockets, it's got bubble helmets, it's got ray guns. You really can't go wrong with this book. And she's all tied up to the rocket there. It's just one of those things, It's funny because in all these books, usually the women, they're not wearing a bubble helmet. So they're actually aliens, usually. Like, he's showing up. He's got the bubble helmet because he's not used to that atmosphere. but all the women are like alien women he's saving off of a rocket, tied up by their own, insurrection or something like that. So there you go, Captain Science number 6. Super pleased to have this, the Red Devils of Mars and the Invisible Tyrants. So I'm gonna guess this is the Red Devil of Mars cover here. So super cool, and she even has like a little green cape. You see that? Tied around her neck. So it's just awesome. Now the one knock I have in this book is that it has the color strike is a little bit off, so it gives it that kind of 3D look, which I don't mind too much at all. And it's just a great copy of the book. So clean, complete, and all the corners sharp. I can't believe that I got a book in this condition. So that's it. That's the quick haul. I hope that didn't take too long. Heroes Con 2025 in the books. Had a fantastic time. It was great to meet up with everybody. I shared a little short, I believe, on YouTube showing off some of the people that I got to hang out with, take pictures with, but really had a great time. And as we say every year, if you didn't get to go this year, make a point to go next year. It's just such a good time, and the books are great, and it's the best that I've ever been to, consistently as well. The best pure Comic-Con. There are no celebrities, really, truly to speak of. There's comic creators and tons of them, but there's not this pop culture celebrity kind of thing going on. This is about comics. There's also very few there's not pop booths and people selling old toys. There's a little bit of that here and there, but for the most part, this is a pure comic convention for fans, collectors, and creators to get together, and dealers and buyers. So it's all good stuff. So if you haven't been, I highly suggest you go next year, 2026. And I'll probably see you there. So, all right, that's it. So I hope you enjoyed that. Remember to read a comic and don't apologize for the glare. Bye-bye.
Now subscribe, you egg-sucking pieces of gutter trash. Now.